Maple Leafs goaltender Jack Campbell has had an amazing start to his season. He's won 11 of his first 12 starts. Do you think that Campbell has what it takes to guide this team to the Stanley Cup?
Well, that's a big ask for a guy that I'm going to get the number wrong, but I know he's played under 80 games. I think it's like 75 or something in his National Hockey League career at 29. So instead of asking maybe can he take him to the Stanley Cup, it's most importantly, how great is it to see his body of work this year and how he's turned his career around. And we did a thing last Saturday in the pregame show and also at the opening about his journey. And I don't know, Jake, if you read the article in The Athletic by James Myrtle. Phenomenal article. We raved about it then. And Jack's path to the NHL. He was drafted 11th overall in 2010 by Dallas. Had a few years in the minors, couldn't get any traction. He had a terrible injury. Then he sort of floundered around in the minors and was traded in 2016, I believe, the summer to the LA Kings organization. And that's where it all turned for him. So he was able to meet the Kings goaltending prospect coach, Dusty Emu. And that's where it all turned. And he and Dusty formed this great friendship. And so he worked on his game. He worked on his mental game. Safe to say that Jack was way too hard on himself mentally, and that stifled his development. I think he's learned to be a little bit kinder to himself, although I think he still has a little ways to go in that department. I thought he was too critical of himself when he lost the game, and he only let in 3 goals, and that was his first loss of the season. He, in fact, called it embarrassing, and I wouldn't go down that road if I were him. I think that it's commendable, to be honest, and it's commendable to take ownership of your play. But when you go 11-1 and you only give up 3 goals and you're calling your game embarrassing, I don't think that's healthy. I don't think that's the right thing. There is a time to take ownership of a bad game. There's no question. And your teammates appreciate that. But I think that's my long-winded answer about where Jack is in his career. And by the way, I'm cheering for him. I think it's a tremendous story, right? He just looks like he's really having a good time. And, I like that thing where he's patting his teammates after every whistle. And, I think it's easy to see that his teammates like him too.
Yeah, he's been outstanding this year, and I feel as if the Maple Leafs actually play better in front of him as well. He's been a rock back there for the Maple Leafs.
Yeah.
Do you think there's any question in your mind that he's the starting goaltender going forward?
No. I think when Frederik Andersen comes back, he's the starting goalie. And I think his body of work, I've been a big fan for years. He certainly hasn't had a great year this year, but nonetheless, when you put in that body of work like Frederik Andersen has over his time with the Leafs, when he's healthy and back, he deserves the opportunity to keep his job. And it's up to Jack Campbell and David Hrudey to push him for more ice time. And maybe at some point that happens, and maybe they rely on Jack Campbell or David Hrudey. But at this point in the season, and when Andersen is healthy, he gets the net back.